Hey, good news everybody. Samsung has pushed out the One UI 8.5 beta number 2 today on Monday. It is December 22nd. We're going to jump right into this, take a look and see what the new features are that we get with this. I'm super excited. We've got a couple features that were brought back that we did not have in beta 1. So let's get right into it. So Samsung has pushed out One UI 8.5 beta number 2. Beta 1 brought us the One UI 8.5 with all of the new features that I went over in the previous video. You can click on the link above here, take a look at that. We're going to get right into this. So let's go ahead and see what we're getting with this new update. First of all, if you're new to the beta, let me go ahead and show you real quick how to sign up. And what's really cool is that this beta number 2 is expanding to allow additional regions, which we're going to go over in just a minute. So if you're new to Samsung betas, all you're going to do is you're going to jump into your Samsung Members app. We'll go ahead and open that up and we will go through how to set this up. You'll see that there is a banner here that says beta program. If you have not signed up for the beta, it will probably be way down here at the bottom near the Galaxy shop. Because I am in the beta, it's right at the top. All you're going to do is select that. I went over in a previous video how to join that beta. You can go ahead and take a look at that video and it'll show you step by step. In here, you'll see any betas that your device is available for. So either on your phone, your watch, any of the devices that you have. So if a beta is available, it'll show up here. You can see One UI 8.5 S25 beta. You click on that, they'll bring you into the beta screen here. You'll see that there are beta notices, the software updates, the beta feedback, and the beta community. So we'll click on the beta notice. This is where it will give you some information about the new beta. So this is beta number 2. It does show you the release date of December 22nd. And you'll see it will go over some of the basic features. You also have, if we go back, you can click on the 3 dots here. You can leave the beta if you want to do that. Once you're in here, we can go ahead and check for software updates. It will go through, it will download the beta and install it on your device. So I've gone ahead and downloaded it. Let's go ahead and see what we get with this. So this is version One UI 8.5. This version ends in ZY LH. If you scroll down here, we can see that this is 1145 megabytes, so about 1 gig. It does have the December 1st security patch, which came with the beta 1. It does show you One UI version is 8.5, Android version is 16. So going over what we get here, a lot of bug fixes. You can see we have modified to enable dual recording in single take mode through camera assistant setting. So in beta 1, that was taken away in the camera settings. They brought it back into beta 2. That is part of the camera assistant that we'll take a look at. We have improved the issue of initializing quick panel settings when booting intermittently, improvement of errors such as quick panel menu, screen icon, spacing, location, etc. Improve the issue of photos organized into gallery group folders being moved to the first album page. Improved the stuttering issue when pressing the More View menu during a call. Improved rebooting issue while leaving it intermittently. Improved the issue that the volume up button does not work under certain conditions. Improved the issue of sound generation in the device when making a call with a Bluetooth car kit connection under certain conditions. Improvement of issues that are forcibly terminated while using multiple third apps, and stabilization of software through multiple app updates such as cameras. So we're going to go ahead and restart the device, take a look at what's new. Once this is done installing, we'll come back and take a look. So the software is done installing. You can see software is up to date. This is the One UI 8.5. So let's go ahead and jump in here. We're going to go back to last update and take a look at what we talked about. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is the camera assistant setting. So in One UI 8.5 beta 1, it was reported that the dual recording and single take mode were removed from the camera. So on previous versions in One UI 8, before the 8.5 beta, if you went into camera and you went into more, you would actually see those modes in here, which you do not see any longer. So dual recording and single take were removed from this menu, but One UI Beta 8.5 Beta 2 has brought that back through the camera assistant. So if we jump into the camera and we go into settings, we can scroll down and you will find camera assistant. This is part of the GoodLock suite. It's baked right into the camera application. So we should see in here, if we go through, we should see that ability given back. So let's take a look and see what we have in here. Okay, so far not seeing it in here. Let's look under high resolution settings. We don't see it there. Checking about camera. So this is version 4.0.00.6. Let's go ahead and see where, let's see if it's under shooting methods. Don't see it under there. Okay, so let's see where this resides. Okay, so had to play around in here a bit. So the new update doesn't come with the latest version of the camera assistant. So it was not showing the new dual recording and some of the new features. So went ahead and downloaded the latest APK for that. Since it doesn't come with this, I'll go ahead and put a link down below to that download. But let's go ahead and take a look at what we get with the new camera update. So if we go into our settings of our camera and we scroll down, we will click on Camera Assistant. And in here, you'll see that we have some new applications or new features. So we have this touch autofocus in Pro mode. So this has the ability to enable the autofocus only while recording, or you can do the autofocus and auto enhance while recording. So we've got that new feature. If we come down here, we have focus peaking in Pro modes. So this is something we didn't have in the previous version. So this goes over the focus peaking, so you can pick what color you want. Right now it's set to green, but this will help when you're using focus peaking. What that does is that shows that everything is in focus, which I'll show you. I'll go ahead and turn that on and show you. And let's go ahead and just make it red so you can see that. Let's scroll down here. And what we really want to see is right here, additional modes. So we have single take enabled now, and we have the dual recording back. So if we go into our camera, we should be able to see now we have dual record and single take back. So very happy to see that. A lot of Samsung members were not happy about losing these features. So I'm glad to see that Samsung brought them back in the camera assistant. So focus peaking, let's go ahead and just take our little Android guy here, see if I can get this on video. So what focus peaking does is when you tap and focus, let's go ahead and we need to go into our Pro mode. So I'm going to go into Pro mode, and right now, let's see if we can get this on camera. So if you can see here through the viewfinder, we can adjust our focus, so we can do a manual focus. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and click on here. And right now we're on autofocus. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn off the autofocus, and we'll go to manual focus. And so what focus peaking is going to do is you can see that red showing up. And what that is showing is that's showing that it is in focus. So if we go ahead and click on our Android guy here, and we go ahead and adjust, you can see this is overexposed, if it's underexposed. And so you can see that everything is right where you want it to be. Let's go ahead and if you can see that, you'll see the eyes. Let's just go ahead and take that picture. And there we go. So that is the focus peaking feature that has been added with the new camera assistant. Let's go ahead and take a look at what else we have in here. So we had the focus peaking. Let's go ahead and jump out of Pro mode. Okay, let's go ahead and go back into the camera assistant application and see what else we have in here. So we've got some presets in Pro mode that you can save. I believe that those are the main ones. So it looks like we got quite a few updates within the camera assistant, which is nice to see. In the original, it stopped right at the clean preview on HDMI displays. And I believe that that is it. There might be some more in here. I'll have to play with it. Let's go ahead and go in and see what the next feature is that we have here. Okay, so we went over the camera. We've got the reboot issues, which those are going to be, these are kind of generic. They're in different situations depending on what's going on there. And let's see. So we have the improved issue initializing quick panel settings. So I didn't really see any issues with quick panel. So in beta 1, you have the ability now, if you haven't seen this, you can actually go in and edit these toggles as far as change the shape, move them around. You can really customize this how you want it to be. Let's go ahead and, so let's move this guy over here. And you can see this is just however you want it to be. You can make it smaller. We can move it over. Let's go ahead and move this here. So you can really just kind of customize this screen however you want it to look. We'll go ahead and click done there. And you can do whatever you want here. So that's really cool that we have that option. So let's go ahead and take a look at what else we have. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into our Galaxy Store and check for any application updates. We're going to go ahead and open up the Galaxy Store here. We're going to click on menu, go to updates, and let's see what we have. So it looks like we just have one update for Theme Park. So that's part of GoodLock. It says that this added theme bookmarking with heart icon and support for launching bookmarked themes via the home screen shortcut, improved icon editing UI, effects and images, and it's updated the quick panel icon preview. So let's go ahead and update that, and then we'll take a look and see what is new with Theme Park. For those of you that aren't familiar with Theme Park, it is part of the GoodLock module. Did a whole video on GoodLock. If you want to take a look at that, I'll link it down below. Okay, so that is done. Let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to go into GoodLock. So we'll go into our GoodLock application, and here is Theme Park. So let's open that up and take a look. Okay, so it mentioned in the quick panel, there's some updates in here. So if we go into quick panel, this is where you can customize your quick panel. And we've got some different colors in here. We've got the blur level, so you can adjust the blur effect. We also have all these colors. Let's just go ahead and pick one here. And we can go ahead and click on here. This will show you what it's going to look like as far as the notification panel. And then this is the quick panel. Okay, let's go ahead and go back here. Let's jump into theme. So if you're not familiar with Theme Park, you can really customize and theme out your device. You can do icons, the keyboard. There's really cool keyboard effects. We've got icons. So these are all different icon packs. So you can change how the icons look. We have the volume panel in here. So if you wanted to create your own volume panel, you can do that. So everything is all customized. GoodLock is one of the best modules I've seen that Samsung allows you to really customize. So if you're into the customizations, definitely check out GoodLock. Okay, let's go ahead and go into our gallery application. There was some mention of changes in gallery. So in the previous update, you can see that there's been a full redesign to the gallery. We've got this pill shape down here. You go into menu. In the previous video, I went over the new private album that is built in right to your settings within the gallery. So you don't have to go through all the steps of going into the gallery labs and enabling that. It's right there. So let's go ahead and jump into settings, see if there's anything new in here. It did mention something, and it mentioned about some changes with the folders, and it looks like, so they've made some changes with the folders and the albums here. You can see that there's been some changes. Yeah, so it says improve the issue of photos organized into gallery group folders being moved to the first album page. So I guess there was an issue where they were being moved to the first page of the album. That's been fixed. Let's go ahead and go back into our camera, see if there's anything new in here. They did mention a bunch of different camera improvements. So there were some improvements with the Pro Video. Okay, so inside of the camera assistant, we're going to take a look at some other features that are in here. We went over the focus peaking. We went over the autofocus and auto exposure modes where you can turn these on or off. You can have both on, just autofocus. If we scroll down until we get to advanced photo mode controls. So instead of using the Pro photo mode, you can actually go into advanced photo modes and you can actually turn on some of these features without going into that mode. So this will be just right in your regular camera mode. So we can turn our white balance control on. We can do the exposure value control, turn that on. Also change the maximum ISO as well as minimum shutter speed. So we'll go ahead and let's just set this to 200. And then we can also adjust our shutter speed. And so we'll go ahead and we'll do 1/120. If we go down here, just past, we have resolution options. So we can go in here, we have adaptive pixel, and we have upscale digital zoom. So these are new that you can add into those regular modes. We also have down here, I believe there is something else. This is where you turn on your dual recording or single take. You can toggle these on or off. And then you also have, I believe there was these customized indicators here. So you have photo indicators you can turn on, or you have video indicators you can turn on. I don't believe that was in the previous version, but that is about it. So let's take a look at what happens if we just go into our regular photo mode. When we go into photo mode and we click on the 4 dots here, we should see some new adjustments. So you can see we have our white balance, so we can adjust our white balance if needed. This is our exposure. So you don't normally have those options within the regular photo mode, so we have that. I believe the shutter speed is set, so when we go back into that setting, you can actually, that's hard set in there. So if we go back into our camera assistant, scroll down, there it is, the advanced photo mode. So these, we can't adjust these are just part of the Pro mode controls, so it'll be fixed. So you'll have the shutter speed set to 1/120. You can have that on. You can adjust that to 1/130, 1/500, or 1/1000, or none. I'm going to go ahead and leave that off. Maximum ISO, that's going to adjust your ISO. We'll go ahead and turn that off. And then we do have those white balance controls, as I showed you, and the exposure value controls. Okay, so let's go ahead and test out the photo modes in the basic photo camera app. You can see I'm in the photo application. I'm not in Pro Photo. And we now have, we click on those 4 dots, and we scroll over, you can see that we have our white balance. So we can manually adjust our white balance. So we can make it cooler or we can make it warmer depending on what you want your white balance to be. You also have the ability to do the exposure. So if we go ahead and go into our exposure, we can change that. So let's go ahead and go into the exposure. So here's the manual exposure that you can adjust, and you can see that that's changing. And now that we have that, we can go ahead and just snap our picture. And those are the 2 new modes that you have in the regular camera photo mode instead of going into Pro Photo. Okay, and that wraps it up for One UI 8.5 Beta 2. Let me know in the comments below if you're going to join the beta. If you're already in the beta, let me know what your favorite feature is so far and how the beta is working out for you. And if you liked the video, please make sure to give us a thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel, and always click the bell notification so you're updated when new videos get uploaded. As always, I appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you in our next video.